Hello. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I know I've said this in like previous videos, but I tend to upload a video or two, maybe three if I'm lucky, and then completely disappear for like a year. This was mainly because I was in a very, I wouldn't say bad relationship, but it wasn't the best for me mentally, emotionally, everything. I've made a video with him, or not with him, but like of us meeting and everything, and like basically I broke up with him not that long ago. Well, it was at the beginning of the year. Today is July, no, oh my god, it's August. It's August. It is August 12th, and I broke up with him at the end of January. Things were I just wasn't happy. And now I am very happy. And as you can see, the title of my video, I am pregnant. And I just felt that this video needed to be, like, I wanted to make this video not just for me to look back on, and not just for me in general, but I'm like trying to research other people and like their experiences with having a spinal fusion and then getting pregnant, and like how their process and experience went, and I am just finding nothing. Like, I found a few videos, but they're like 5 minutes long and like didn't really explain like a lot, so I'm kind of in the dark with this, and my doctors have no experience with this specifically, and it is a very pretty serious situation that I'm in. And so I just decided that maybe I can help out someone in the future, but also sharing my experience, because it's been an experience. Sorry for the cars. As you can see, I am in my car, mostly because there's a lot of work being done on the house that I'm living in now, and it's hot. And so I'm just kind of sitting in the nice shade on this really, really pretty road, and I just felt I needed to get out of the house a little bit. You know, the pandemic and everything I'm not working, but luckily I'm still getting paid. Otherwise, I would be in real deep doo-doo here with being pregnant and not having income, but I have income, thank God. But, you know, I just decided that here's my story and my experience so far, and like, I have my little notebook here so I don't forget anything, because there's a lot that I want to talk about. I really want to get in depth with this, and so, like, you know, like I said, someone in the future can find my video and get a feel for how this really is. Anyway, so that's why if I keep looking down, that's because I have my notebook here. So basically, a little rundown on my spinal fusion first is, I got it done obviously because I had scoliosis, and you can see my whole recovery and everything on my channel. I actually posted a video of that. Really didn't think there would be this many cars. So yeah, I have my, you know, spinal fusion surgery video, recovery and everything. And that actually has my ex-boyfriend in it. So if you want to go look at that, I will link that down below in my description. And I got that done back in September of 2017. So I am literally almost 3 years post-op. So I will be 3 years post-op when I give birth to my daughter. Her name is Maria. And I am actually 20 weeks today, so I am officially halfway there. And I felt that, you know, being 20 weeks, I really have gotten a good feel for how I'm doing and how my back's really taking this. Obviously, I'm not to full term where my belly is super heavy and like really taking a toll on my back, so it's just based off of now. And I will definitely be making more videos on my, how it's progressing and everything, so that we can really get a feel for how being pregnant can really take a toll on your back when your back can't really form to how, a normal pregnancy would be. And so, I have my T4 to L3 fused, almost my entire back. My scar is a good, long, nice, beautiful scar on my back. But all in all, that is 10 vertebrae, if you don't know the, difference in vertebrae or whatnot. So yeah, 10 vertebrae, I have fused, and my surgery was 8.5 hours long, and my amazing doctor at Shriners in Sacramento, managed to get my 60-degree curve down to a 15-degree curve, which in aspect is not even considered scoliosis anymore. If you have anything lower than a 15-degree curve, you are normal. Normal as can be in the sense of your spine. And so when I found that out, I'm like, wow, I can literally say I had scoliosis. And so that was pretty interesting. But now I say, I have my spine fused because I had scoliosis, so like that just really sounds weird. But in forms of pain, pre-op pain, so like when I had scoliosis, my pain was pretty severe. And, for those who haven't had their spine fused, are gonna get their spine fused, whatever the case may be, you will always be in pain. And that is one thing that I researched a whole bunch before my surgery, and because I didn't want to go in completely without knowledge about this. And so when I was researching and everything, people were really kept saying, like, you're basically trading one pain for another, or many pains for one pain, whatever the case may be. And it is really true, because like pre-op, I had my left rib cage, which is, I can still feel it's pretty, like, what I consider narrow. I also feel like a little dip at the end of my rib cage, and that's just what I have to deal with. But before, I have pictures that if I can find them, I'll post them right here. My rib cage would stick out so far. It was the most excruciating pain that I ever had with my scoliosis. Like, honestly, I never thought that pain would go away. And really, most of my pain was in my ribs. Like, whether it be my left rib cage, right rib cage, whatever it was, mostly after like a really long day at work or whatever the case may have been. At night, it was obviously the worst because I had been on my feet most of the day. But I don't know how to explain the pain, because it was really, it just almost felt like something was crushing my ribs. And especially with my left rib cage, it was just not fun. Other than my rib cage, like, I really experienced something that's called sciatica, which I only experienced this on my left side. Mostly when I sit for a long period of time, which sucks for driving, but that didn't really bother me all that much, because I don't ever remember experiencing it when I wasn't driving. But like, once I would start driving and sitting on it for a long period of time, like, I would constantly be like readjusting myself, and that, it was just so uncomfortable. Like, constantly, like, whenever me and my mom would go on trips, long distance trips, 15-hour drives, I would have to stop a lot and just like stretch. My back would hurt in general, my neck. Yeah, that's one thing. My neck has always had a problem with like headrests. So thank God on my new car, like I can pull my headrest like all the way forward if I want, but also it goes all the way back. So my neck isn't being like pushed forward like this, because then I would always like sit a little bit forward, which would then like put pressure on my back. Which, you know, little things like that, you really don't think about it if you don't have scoliosis and experience stuff like that, because it's just the little odd things that really bother the hell out of you if you do have scoliosis and you understand. And that's something that I still have a problem with, and that's why I really, really love my new car. I'm getting really tired of these cars. My hips. I would experience a lot of hip pain, mostly because if you have scoliosis, everything's just out of whack. Because your spine is literally, and forgive my little pun, the backbone of your entire body. If your spine is out of place, everything else is out of place. And so, in my case, with my spine being the way that it was, the curve that it, you know, the way that it went, my left rib cage was really narrow, stuck out a lot, and one of my hips, you know, your hips are off. So one of them is higher than the other. Also, you can see this with like, if you're standing up straight, you can look at the bottom of your pant legs, and one of them is going to be higher than the other, based off of which hip is higher and lower. And so with that, you know, your weight is being distributed very differently and unevenly, and that can cause a lot of pain with anyone, really. So a good example would be if you're holding a one-strapped bag that's a little heavy, and you know, it's one strap, so you only have it on one side. Imagine walking like that for 15 to 20 minutes, or just plainly holding it. You'll constantly be like switching your legs to kind of like redistribute the weight, but also you'll find yourself maybe switching it to the other side because the weight needs to be distributed. So it's kind of like that with, you know, my hips. And so like I would get, along with the sciatica, like I really have a lot of problems with my left side, if you haven't noticed, and that's just the way that my like curve was and like how my body is now, and it won't change, I've noticed, because like with one of the problems that I have in my hips, is my left hip likes to pop. So say these are my legs and this is my left leg, and I'm laying down and I bring my leg all the way up and I'll bring it down. Like say if I'm working out or like doing something that has to do with this specific movement, and I bring it down, I feel 2 to 3 pops in my hips. And I've brought this up to my doctor, even my surgeon that did my surgery, and he said it's just normal for me. As long he didn't see anything in the like the x-rays, and so he just said as long as it's not like a constant popping and it doesn't really hurt, then it's just something that I'm gonna have to deal with. And I thought it would go away after I had my surgery, but it didn't, and so I brought it up to him, and, you know, it's just some things you just have to deal with, and it sucks that you have to deal with them. Let's see if I can get through this entire bottle of water by the time I'm done with this video. So every time a car comes by, I will take a sip of water. Moving on to post-op pain. Going back to the rib pain, I don't have any of that anymore. Not sure why, but thank God, because that was really the most of my pain that I ever had. It was excruciating, like I said before, and I do not wish that upon anyone. Not even one of my worst enemies. I'm just glad the rib pain's gone, because that was just one of the worst, it was one of the worst possible things that I thought I could ever go through. But I'm just glad it's gone. I still have sciatica. I only ever experienced it in my left side still, and I'm really not sure why. My doctor doesn't know why, but if my curve had gone the other way, maybe that would have changed it. Who knows, but it's one of the smaller things that I have to deal with, and I don't mind it. I really don't. And my hips still hurt. Very much. Mostly when I bend down a lot, which sucks, doing like things like laundry, putting away dishes, cleaning up my room, all of the little things that, you know, healthy people can do pretty easily. It's just, you know, a task that needs to be done, and that can be annoying. But after I do those tasks, I'm in a lot of pain after, and especially now with, you know, growing a baby and just my belly in general growing, I have now come to the part of my pregnancy where bending down, bending over is starting to get a lot harder, and not just on my hips, but in general, my belly gets in the way. Another thing that I've been experiencing after my surgery was a lot of my joints tend to, like my knees, my ankles, and then my hips, obviously, but like they all tend to have their times where they just feel like they pop out of place, but obviously I can like still move them, and then they just start hurting. And I'm not exactly sure why. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, I've experienced certain times where I have to like stop what I'm doing and kind of like get my ankles to like pop back into place. Like I say, like it feels like they pop out of place, but it doesn't hurt that bad to like if you like dislocate it or something. But that's just how it feels, and that's the only way that I can really like explain it. But that's the gist of it. So let's move on to pain with a spinal fusion during pregnancy, because as you know, when you are pregnant and have a healthy body, you will get back pain. You will get all sorts of different types of pain that you've never experienced before. With me, I've had back pain my entire life, and I am just experiencing little tiny things. I've been experiencing little things that really I haven't noticed before, and I do think that they have to do with being pregnant. And also at the same time, I could just be experiencing different types of pain from my spinal fusion. You know, it's a hit or miss, and I just kind of guess, like, this is because I'm pregnant, or this is just another pain due to the fact that I'm all screwed up. Before, I would experience just kind of like internal hip pain. So like if you were to come in from the sides, it's kind of just like right in there. And now I experience it all around, especially in the back. And that has caused me to be bedridden some days, just because like getting up, moving around, getting in a car hurts so bad that I just can't do it. One of the reasons why I got a new car was because my boyfriend has a Honda S2K, which, if you don't know what type of car that is, it's a two-seater, and it is extremely small. And so up until about 3 weeks ago, I was able to get in and out of that car pretty easily, sometimes with his help, depending on the day and the pain level. But there was just this one day where we went on a normal beach trip, which we have been trying to go on to get me some exercise and just to get out of the house and enjoy the beach and the water. And when we came home, I could not get out of that car by myself. And I wasn't really that big at the time, but it was just my back was killing me and I couldn't physically bring myself up out of the car. And so after that happened, I realized, okay, I cannot get in and out of this car anymore. And he does have another car. It's just a regular Honda Civic, but it's a 2-door. And I also have to think about what happens after the baby's born. Like, what will I need extra help with, or how can I accommodate myself and not have to have help all the time? And so with a 2-door, like, I didn't even think about it before, but yes, there's a back seat. Yes, you can put a baby back there, but I can't bend that way. I can't physically hold my body, my upper body up that way, reach in the back, put my baby back there in this car seat, and, vice versa, bring her out. And so we really needed a 4-door. And so a couple weeks ago, I had been saving and saving for a good 3.5 months, since I'm not doing anything, not spending money, and I'm still getting income. I just was saving every other check, up to like $1,000 a month. And so I saved up $5,000 for a down payment, and I bought my dream car. It is a 2017 Subaru WRX, and I am absolutely in love. I've been wanting this car for literally like 5 to 6 years. Not the year specifically, but just the car in general. I have owned 3 Subarus prior to this, so this is my 4th Subaru that I've owned, and it is the 5th car that I've owned. But it's the first car that I have ever owned that I bought off the lot. And that was my goal. Like, I had even been telling my ex-boyfriend, like, for the past couple of years, like, the next car that I get, I am buying it off the lot. I'm gonna get, I'm gonna save up whatever money I can, and I'm gonna get a car off the lot. And so I did. And I'm extremely proud of myself because my ex-boyfriend really screwed me over, and I had taken about 3 months to actually pay off my credit card that I had used to pay for his wisdom teeth removal that he never paid me back for. And that took a lot of work, a lot of money that I didn't really have, but I had to do it because my credit was faulting and I really needed a car for myself after I got pregnant, and I realized I can't do a 2-door, and obviously we can't do a 2-seater, so I needed to get a car that was mine and it's in my name. And I realized I'm going off on a tangent that's about something that doesn't even have to do with this video. So let's get back on track, Jasmine, shall we? Back to the pain that I've been experiencing. Along with my hips in the back starting to give me troubles, I realized that, like, right after I bought this car, so I'm not exactly sure if it's the car, the seat, or what, but I've been experiencing bruising on my tailbone. And that's just how it feels, because, like, my tailbone, when I sit on it for a good amount of time, it'll start hurting to where getting up out of the car hurts, specifically, my tailbone. And just, like, in general, then sitting down, even if I'm not putting direct pressure on my tailbone, it will hurt. I don't know, I've never experienced a pain like this. And so, because of this, my boyfriend bought me this. And so, like, I put it on the seat this way, and so my tailbone technically goes right here. And this is honestly one of the best things that he could have ever gotten me. Yes, it's very thick, so I wish that we had gotten one that was thinner, but it still works like a champ. So I highly recommend this if you're having any sort of tailbone pain, and you have to be driving. I don't use it anywhere other than the driver's seat because you can't really move around when you're in the driver's seat or put your, like, legs up to, like, elevate. So I only use that when I'm driving, which this is my car, so I'm driving it a lot. It's just kind of like a few things that I've been experiencing throughout pregnancy, and then like the normal back pain that I always have. So that's basically all of the pain that I've been experiencing. I know it is a lot, but when you have a medical condition like mine and you've had surgery for it, there's going to be some side effects, some pain that you haven't experienced before. And I know that, you know, pregnancy comes with pain. But I am willing to do this because it is also an experiment for me, because it's my first pregnancy that I'm going through with, and I don't know how my body's gonna handle it. I don't know how my body's gonna handle labor, the third trimester. I plan, well, not that I plan on it, but I expect that my doctor will put me on bed rest for at least the last like 3 months, maybe 2, depending on how my back takes this. So I guess we will see. Another thing that I have really been thinking about a lot, because my OB does not have any experience with spinal fusion and pregnancy. She does not know how this is going to affect me, and no one that she knows has had any experience with this, which is kind of weird. And like, I'm not exactly sure, like, just me specifically, if I was an OB, I would do my research on everything that I could, every different medical condition, how it would affect being pregnant, and like all of that stuff. But that's just me. That's why I'm here, to kind of help those who don't know how it is because you don't have it, you know, and those who are experiencing this or are just curious. I've always been curious how my body's gonna take this, and if it doesn't take it very well, I'm not gonna put my body through this again. And so I was also hoping for a girl, which I'm really glad that I'm having a girl, because I've always just wanted a little mini-me, and I really want to experience this as best as I can, so that hopefully it goes well and I can have more kids, because I do want 3. I want 3 kids, but if I just end up with 1, I will be happy with that. And my boyfriend wants 10 kids. And I know that I'm not going to be able to do that for him, so I'm sorry, honey. Things that I have been thinking a lot about is mainly how labor is going to go. And this specifically because of the positions that they want you to be in when you're pushing. And how, you know, they have your legs up, they have you hold them, or they hold them, or your boyfriend holds them. Someone holds your legs in a way that hurts my lower back. And I just don't think that I'm going to be able to push in that position, but I'm also inexperienced in the way that I don't know what other positions I could be in, so that it'll still be manageable, but also, you know, they're able to do what they can do, and I'm in less pain, or at least in manageable pain, because I know I'm going to be in a lot of pain. The other thing is, am I going to be able to do it naturally, or are they going to recommend a C-section? And I'm gonna have to pee so bad after this. But if my doctor recommends a C-section in any way that she has doubts that I won't be able to do this naturally, I'm gonna take her advice, because I don't want to think that I can do this naturally and something happen, or my hips don't widen enough to where I can push my baby out, I don't want to have an emergency C-section. I want to be prepared. And if I have to prepare for a scheduled C-section, I will prepare for a scheduled C-section. Either way, I'm gonna have a baby girl, and that's really all that matters. I just want to be able to be prepared for anything and everything because of the inexperience that everyone has around me, and including me. And I really wish that there were more people like on YouTube who post their stories, because I've researched and like I said, I can only find like 5-minute videos just basically talking just briefly about, you know, their labor or whatever, but not really like the full extent. I swear to God. I'm not drinking for that one. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Let's just move on, shall we? Yay, pregnancy brain. But turns out, that's the end of my list. Just basically my fears and unknown of labor itself. And back issues and like all of that stuff that will come up during labor. And if I'm even going to be able to have birth naturally, give birth naturally. Oh my God. I think I've been talking for too long because my brain is now telling me that you can't think anymore, girl. And yeah, this is the reality of pregnancy brain. I've been experiencing this a lot, for sure. Mostly just like forgetting words and having to think longer about like something very specific. Like, what is that called? How do I word this? Which sucks because I have people come to me saying, how do I say this? I don't know how to say this. And it's like, oh, I'm on it. But now I'm like, please don't ask me because it's gonna come out all gibberish and you're gonna have to like decode it. Really, really hope that this video helps someone. It definitely would help me a lot if I found this video, you know, before. And I just really hope that it helps someone. Plain and simple, and I will be uploading more videos frequently. I will not allow myself to go back into a rut. And with that being said, I guess I should end this video because I no longer have any water. And I have to pee. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!